feel some kind of way because the president doesn't want you here. Dumbass, it's called a rule for a reason. People, and I agree 100%. If you want to come here the right way. I got people who I know from Ghana, from Kensington, Jamaica. I have friends in different countries who tell me there's no COVID there, by the way. But I got people in other countries who want to come here and visit for the holidays. They got to go through red tape after red tape after red tape. They got to go to the embassy. They got to get the passport. Mm-hmm. They got to verify with me that they coming here. They got to do all this fact checking, background check. By the time they get all the shit done, it's January. They done missed the holiday, and then you got to buy the plane ticket. And I got to go back to work because now the holiday break is over. So you done missed the opportunity. You get to try this thing again 3 months in advance to be on time. You got to work on it in October just to be ready for December. So why is it my friends are following the rules and taking them 3 months to get over the hump, but it's okay for the Hispanics and the Puerto Ricans and the Haitians to just take a boat to New York, climb over Liberty Island, and come on up in the country? Hell no. This is where the bed bugs came from. That was your first sign to shut this country down when everybody was getting the bed bugs. But did you listen to God? No. You still got the borders open, Obama. So now the bed bugs done turn into a roach frenzy. And they got the roaches everywhere. Because the roaches eat the bed bugs up. But did you stop it, Obama? No. They done traded over to Trump. After he done told China they can keep on throwing weapons and building nuclear weapons, but just slow it down so it's off your hands onto the next president's hands. And what's going to happen, you can watch it play out. Biden going to get in there and he's going to take credit for everything, even though we know he ain't did shit. But the media going to tell you he did. Oh, he worked on the virus vaccinations. Oh, he got rid of corona. Corona is over. There's no more corona. It would still be over if Trump had another 4 years because radiation dissipates. It doesn't linger in the atmosphere. Do you know how much time it takes for radiation? We use radiation to detect airplanes in the sky. Everybody who's on the airplane gets radiation poisoning. Once you're on the plane, you don't get it because it's wetting up the outside of the plane. But if you have to walk across a tarmac to get to the plane, you then got wet up with it because it comes off the tower and it sprays down on the ground. Then there's a beacon that flashes a beacon light. And every time a beacon flashes, the radiation radar picks it up. Even the word radar has the word radiation in it. R-A-D, rad, which is how you measure radiation, and rads. Radar, radiation. Sonar, radiation. Actually, radar stands for radioactive area reader. So it sprays radioactive material, which is radiation, which makes the scope show green, and everything that it wets up is very minute. It flashes on the screen. So we have a shadow scope of what's on the ground, a shadow scope of what's in the air. And the reason why it looks like pawn moving one space at a time, even though it's constantly moving forward, is because it's increments of time. By the time the radar spins around again, it gives an updated position. So that's when you see you advance moving forward. Sonar sends down an echo that hits an object and bounces back, and based on what we hear, we get a sonic area reader dealing with sound. And based on what it sounds like, if it's a long echo, we know it's the floor of the bottom. If it's a reverberating echo, we know it's a ship. If it's a fast echo, we know it's a missile. We know there's a missile being launched coming at us. And the faster it makes the closer it is to us. Boom. Sound like Pac-Man. That's what the sonar does. Racism. I'm tired of racism. I'm tired of the race card. I'm tired of the blame on the president. You don't like the man, so he's responsible for everything. Now we'll see true colors once you get the new president in the seat and see what you're going to deal with. Will the president come back after Biden? Probably. I hope not. But probably. I think he should take the one term and just go head on with the rest of his life because people don't appreciate you. Anytime you do anything for black people, you're unappreciated. Whenever you do something to help black people, you become the enemy of the state. The country don't love you, people don't love you, and it's a thankless position. Phone lines are open 917-889-8825. And when people don't love you, let me give you an example. It's going to hurt your feelings, but who gives a shit? The truth is the truth. Every black leader or black person who has stood up for black people has been beaten, spit on, trampled, or assassinated for doing stuff for black people. And the black people do nothing about it. They just move on. They might parade, they might protest, they might riot, but they don't pursue anything meaningful. Burning down your own neighborhood is not helping anybody. But pursuing a case all the way to the Supreme Court, that does something. In order to affect change, you got to take it through the court system. All this, I'm going to sign a petition. Oh, I'm going to riot. Oh, I'm going to create the Black Lives Matter. That doesn't do anything. Especially if the organization that you're putting together ain't for what you say it's for. Black Lives Matter ain't for me. It's for the gay organization and the women's liberation movement. It's to help Kamala Harris. All of this stuff about machines you use to influence the election to get Biden into the White House, all of that is true. Like I said before, when people try to, even the Illuminati, when people try to set you up for something, they slip up and say stuff before they knew what they were saying. Joe Biden was giving a speech. He slipped up and said, "What do you mean you can't keep this president under control? You know how much money I done spent to get these people on our side?" So what were you talking about? You wasn't talking about Congress. You was talking about Russia. You spent money to get the Russians on our side. Till you get mad, you slip up and say stuff that you ain't supposed to say. That's why I said I don't want Biden for president, because he'll slip up and tell everybody What's the combination to the damn missile silo or the football suitcase? What do you mean? Combinations 1, 2, 3, 4. You know, I don't need somebody that don't know how to keep their mouth shut. But they're going to deny it. And I'm sure the people who go across the internet and scrub stuff off the YouTube went and found that video and took it down. People who find stuff off the web and see this, oh, take it down. And they do it quick, fast, and in a hurry before the inauguration comes. What happened to all these women who said, Joe touched me inappropriately? Where they at? They took it down. They took it down right away. Where all the women that said, back to Trump when he said they want to check his records. We want to see your taxes so we can see if any of the money went to paying hush money for the prostitute. First of all, if I'm paying for sex, it's none of your business what I did before I was president. It wasn't government money. It was my money. You know how many presidents and congressmen and went and bought some hoes? They can't get the shit up. No way. They're too old. Their wife don't want them. They want the money. They don't want the dick. So they go out there and they get these young interns that make them feel like something, and they laugh. Do you think that Elijah Cummings is a good-looking man and he can get a woman half his age? Hell no. That's why they confuse him with the senator, because they both got that bulldog face, and that's why they put it up there by mistake. I forgot his name. Then somebody sent me a picture of Biden hugging Kamala Harris, and up in the clouds of heaven, you got Elijah Cummings, John McCain, the other guy, and the Chief Justice that just passed away, Ginsburg. I said people are very disrespectful. I understand what they were trying to say, but Jews don't believe in heaven. So putting that Jew woman up there, first of all, she's a woman, a very religious Jewish woman. So putting her up there with a bunch of men was disrespectful to her culture, because Jewish women are set aside from men. We learned that here on the show also when David Craftchild told you that Jew women don't be hanging with the men. So that was disrespectful to her religion. The Muslims as well. Muslims don't sit, when you go to their secular, women all on one side, men on all the other. They don't mix the genders. That way you're focused on what you come there to do. Now, if you're married, you have your wife beside you, your husband beside you, but everybody else, you sit across the way. It's not a dating pool. So some people get it right, some people don't get it right. I know I done talked up the whole show, but it just had to come out and be said. So I ain't going to talk your head off.
Too late for that.
I'll just have to wake up, be wise, and listen, and watch what's going on. I ain't going to tell you something I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm telling you what I know. And the government knows that this stuff is orchestrated. And let me tell you how. I was going to tell you how. The World Health Organization, Donald Trump pulled us out of it because the World Health Organization believes in world domination, while the logo is a globe sitting inside of a palm of somebody's hand. That's not God's hand. But a lot of people don't know what the World Health Organization is or what it is. It is a subliminal play on the New World Order. If you change